I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make potato puffs. They're a perfect appetizer for any time of year, but especially around this time of year when there's a lot of get-togethers going on, whether it's for Christmas or any holiday, or for me, I'll be making these for a New Year's Eve party, so I figured I'd share the recipe with you. Now let me take you over the ingredients so we can get started. You'll need some potatoes that have been cooked until nice and soft, and you want to make sure they're peeled. Some puff pastry that's been thawed, some garlic, granulated garlic, some sour cream, a little tiny bit of cream cheese, salt and pepper, and you'll need some egg wash, which is just one egg beaten with a little bit of milk, and that's it, or water. I'm using water, but you can use milk, whatever you've got. This recipe is very simple and easy to put together, and it requires just a handful of ingredients, which is great. The first thing you want to do is get your oven preheated to 425, and the second thing you want to do is take a baking sheet and just line it with some parchment paper so that that's ready. Now let's get going on making the potatoes. And this is a great recipe to make with leftover mashed potatoes. If I had leftover mashed potatoes, that's what I would use. So it's wonderful for, you know, you could put any kind of filling in it if you want to. You could put in some mashed up peas in the mashed potatoes. You could put some herbs. You could do whatever you wanted. But I'm going to keep this relatively simple because I do like the buttery sort of puff pastry with a really creamy, rich potato filling. So to do that, you want to make sure they're nice and soft, and you mash them up to your desired texture. I'm going to take my sour cream, which provides great tanginess, which, you know, I love. And then I'm adding a little bit of cream cheese because while the sour cream provides tanginess, the cream cheese gives you a really nice, rich taste and texture. I'm going to put in some granulated garlic, which I love again. And then I'm using granulated garlic because fresh garlic would be just way too strong, and that's, I don't particularly like that flavor, so that's why I'm using that. And then season it really well with some salt and pepper, and then just mash them all up until you have a really nice smooth mixture. My potatoes are done and they're sitting aside, and I just rolled out my puff pastry on a lightly floured surface, just a little bit bigger than what it was originally, because otherwise it's a little bit too thick and too hard to work with. So now I'm going to cut this into 9 squares, as even as I can manage. And then just add a dollop of your mashed potato filling in the center of each one. Now this filling makes enough for 2 sheets of puff pastry. I'm only going to do 1 for today. That way what's going to happen is I've got friends coming around midweek, and I've got some potato mixture done. I've got some puff pastry in the freezer that I can just thaw in a matter of a couple of hours really. Assemble them, pop them in the freezer. That way all I have to do is put them in the oven when my friends come over, and I've got one thing less to do. So once you've got them all filled, just try and flatten them a little bit. Makes it a little bit easier. This one looks like I've skimped a bit. And then just take your egg wash and run it around the edges, or brush it all around the edges. This kind of helps it stick, and it's almost like it acts like a glue between the puff pastry. Place that on my baking sheet. Now all I'm doing is closing these up. Take 2 corners, pinch them together, put a little bit of egg wash here so that it sticks. One side, pinch over there, pinch over there. Do the same on this side, and then just put them on your baking sheet. That easy. Just keep going around till they're all done. Last one. I'm actually going to put them seam side down so that when they puff up they're a little bit prettier. Just going to brush the tops with some more of my egg wash, and then I'm just going to pop these into the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes, or until the puff pastry is a really beautiful golden brown color, and I'll show you what it looks like once they are done. My potato puffs baked for about 20 minutes, and I've let them cool completely, or I've let them cool for about 15 minutes because they were piping hot, which is great, but be careful serving them that way because the filling itself is so hot that it could really burn someone's tongue. So let it cool a bit, and then you can dig in, which I'm going to do right now because I'm so excited and it smells so good. I don't know if you can see, but it's so good. I mean, puff pastry, mashed potatoes, how can you possibly go wrong? You can't. These are a winner. Go to laurainthekitchen.com and get this recipe. I hope you enjoyed spending time with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.